Hey, hi once again. Sorry, the sun's beaming down right now. I wanna, like I said, I haven't had time to research how to say hello in another language. I'll do that once I get more into things. You know what I mean? Barely getting my establishing my rhythm again. I've been off off the platform, off YouTube for a long time now, for like 2 years. This is probably gonna be on one of my first videos. I actually recorded one earlier. I'm wearing the same clothes. Um, I just have a little extra time right now. Sorry for the washer that's going on right now. But I wanted to talk just something simple like feeling good. You know what I mean? To right now, this video's topic is going to be feeling good. For me, I know a lot of other people probably going to disagree with me. I'm not probably on the popular side of this, but about feeling good. I feel like the only thing really that could help me feel good, and it comes down to the context of my life, my situation. The only thing that makes me feel good is when I do stuff for myself. And I know a lot of people are gonna be able to, that's selfish, you know. At the end of the day, sorry. Sorry, it sounded like somebody was right here next to my house. At the end of the day, nobody really truly is gonna make you feel good, not even your family, but yourself. That's what it comes down to. The dynamics of like my life in terms of relationships, I've always been to myself. I don't really trust people that much, even the people that are supposed to be the closest to you. Family, not friends as much. Friends, even your closest friend could screw you over. I'm talking about like even the closest family members you have in life could really not bring you that joy. You know, I do have kids. I do love them. I have older kids. I do love them. The dynamics of our relationship is complex. I came to the maturity, wisdom, understanding that life is how it's going to be when it comes to my dynamics and my older kids at this point. I'm gonna be here for them. I've extended an olive branch out to them. I told them I'm here for them whenever they need. Because not recently, but a couple months back, they moved back with their mom. So they're already 19 and 17, so they're pretty much raised already. I won't lie. To give more clearer context in the background of the situation, I wasn't probably as there for them as much as I should have been throughout their childhood, and I realized that, and I could attest like that is the truth. That I should have been there more present, more there, more being. It's hard. I mean, it is doable. I'm not making an excuse. It's hard with the pace of life nowadays, with how busy you are, with the dynamics of the other parent. There's a lot of factors that come into play. I feel like in today's society, a father has to fight for his right to be a parent more than a mother has to fight for a right. Naturally said, I feel like a mother has more of a right to be a parent than a father, at least in the United States or Western civilization. I don't know. Particularly the United States, and I think even more so here in California. It's like, well, you're a dad, but you know what I mean. You're not that much of a dad, and you know what? If you really want the kid, you got to go to court, because me being the mother, or I'm just saying, I'm giving a generalization. They have more rights. You know what I mean? You got to fight for your right to be a father. So, that being said, the dynamics of my relationship with my older kids is such. You know, after I got a divorce, I was seeing this woman. You know, I was in the right headspace either. This wouldn't be a person that I would probably have talked to if I was in a better headspace. Just I found a woman I met online. Found out she was an escort after the fact. I'd be asleep because I ended up staying crashing at her place because I didn't really have a place to stay. I was living in my car at the time, living at my mom's, somewhat here and there. This is after I got a divorce, after I got out the Marine Corps, so it's not like I haven't been successful and done stuff on my own. I kind of just, life kind of comes in waves, you know, ups and downs. And at this particular point in time, I met this woman. There'd be times where I was asleep and I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh, she's not here. Find out she's at it was an apartment complex that really looks like a prison structure, really, because there's two sides of it. There's a top and a bottom story. In the middle is the yard. It feels like you're in prison. I mean, I've never been to prison, but everybody that lived in that little area called it the tira, the prison, the tier. I'm like, wow, so I'm really in the hood. You know, in my little town that I live in Central California, it was a very, very ghetto little place that I lived at the time. I mean, I had nowhere else to go, you know? That being said, wait up. I just want to make sure nobody's right here. That being said, well, you know, met this chick online, and then just to cut to the point, I kind of realized I didn't want to be with her, and then I found out she was an escort. She would be, when I wake up at night, she wasn't next to me. I'd find out that she's getting high with neighbors on the other side of the apartment complex, just hanging out with them, and it was pretty much like a bunch of lowlifes, a bunch of guys. She said she ended up getting pregnant, moved away. I don't even know if the girl, the daughter, she had a daughter. I don't even know if the baby is mine. She moved out of state. She came back to California when her grandmother died for a little bit. I got to see the baby, beautiful baby. At the end of the day, I don't know if that baby was mine because I would catch her and just, I knew she was an escort, and then I would catch her, you know, doing stuff, you know, hanging out, getting high with neighbors at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Just very suspect behavior, you know what I mean? And I put myself in that situation. I understand that. I wasn't in the right state of mind, you know. I was kind of depressed after my divorce. And then that was a very short stint. My marriage was 5 years. I was with her for 2 years before that. We were kids though. We were what, 19 and 16, 17. I mean, we're young, you know. And then you know, we became an LVN, became an RN, truck drove, did other things, bail bonds. Was looking into getting my real estate license, but I see how hard that is. I mean, it's not hard to get, but how hard it is once you get it to even actually make it a career and make money and sustain yourself. The amount of work you're doing versus the amount of money that you make, I don't know if there's a good balance to that. Anyways, I met my youngest child, my daughter's mom, in nursing school. You know, I'm like, all right, maybe if I meet a professional, it might pan out different, you know. And at the end of the day, it don't really matter. That's why you see these rich people, movie stars, whoever it is, they have a very tough life because maybe, you know, the same thing. Success doesn't really equate to anything. You know what I mean? I think you're either gonna just have a good upbringing or you're not. You know, you're gonna have good foundation or you're not. That's why, you know, you see like Elon Musk. You know, I think he was. I don't know if he had. I don't think he had both parents. I'm not sure. You could let me know about this. From what I got told, I thought he was raised by only his mom. He's had trouble in his personal life, and it don't matter how successful you are. You could be a billionaire. You'll have difficulties, and I think that comes down to like my life and my upbringing. I know that's not universal. I know there's people that come from single parents backgrounds and have established themselves in a very successful way to not repeat that pattern. I know that's achievable too. Anything's achievable, really. I'm not giving an excuse. I'm just saying, like, it's sometimes people don't learn from it. You know what I mean? And I wasn't like trying to not learn from it on purpose. I was just trying to live my life to the best of my ability. When I married my older kid's mother, I was doing it with good intentions. You know, I mean, we kind of met in bad circumstances because we were both kids and not the greatest crowd. She ended up getting pregnant. I ended up joining the Marine Corps. So you know, that's pretty much that in a nutshell. Um, um, and then she had a lot of sexual trauma caused by her father, so that's a whole can of worms in itself, which I think contributed to a lot of the downfall of us. On top of being married young, you know, but it was that's probably like a whole video in itself. But anyways, like trying to bring about your own content or happiness or self-actualization, I gotta do it myself, you know, because long story short, now with my youngest's mom, I know I've said in other videos where we're finally like kind of we try to working it out again. I mean, we're actually still like on the teeter, like do we want to work it out or not, but we're at a different level at this point. It's not like animosity wise, it's more like you know, a lot of stuff has transpired, and do we really want to go through this, you know? I find myself a lot of times unhappy. I find myself more questioning stuff, cycles, patterns, behaviors. There's a lot of cycles that go on, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, I feel like we're just a hamster in a wheel. The rat race of just going about this, and I kind of really, I'm not a pushover. I'm not a beta. I'm like a sigma, but I still want to do my duty to my youngest my youngest daughter's mom. But at the same time, sorry, we'll wait for this to be done. But at the same time, it's to my detriment. You know what I mean? So I've come to the conclusion of separating, and I know that's not a good look, 3 baby mamas or 2, because I don't even know if my second daughter is even my child. I just need to come about and come to a conclusion of having my own happiness and doing it myself, you know, because my older kids were raised with their mom. You know, my youngest or my second daughter is, if she is my daughter, because I'm not sure or not, is in another state. And then my youngest, I mean, she takes on her mom's like personality more. So I feel like a lot of the power that I wish I could have had as a father was kind of like not. Maybe I didn't like instill it enough or whatnot, you know, because I know I'm gonna get probably responses back like saying like, well, it was kind of your fault if you didn't instill something, or you didn't push for something, or you didn't put down the foundation. I did. I joined the Marine Corps. I tried to take care of my ex-wife, my older kid's mom. Joined the service, and like at the end of it, she's like, well, you took me away. It was more like accusations, you know what I mean? The second relationship, that crazy one, that's not even worth salvaging, because I don't want to be with somebody like that. And then the last one is just like a lot of things I did not think that were healthy. You know, she would always bring her mom into play. Like, she'll call her mom when we have a disagreement. Call your mom. And so her mom's like, is everything okay? Or we're having an actual calm disagreement, but she's making it out to sound like we're having a more difficult situation than what it is. Her family just kind of always involved in an unhealthy way. I think family shouldn't be like extended family shouldn't be all up in your business unless they're helping you with your daughter, you know. And even then, I mean, is the help worth it if they're going to be up in your business? So what I came to conclusion is it's just better to just find your own happiness on your own. I'm going to stand strong on my own 2 feet. I know some people will agree with what I'm saying, some people won't. Some people might be indifferent or in the middle and have neither a good or a bad opinion. I'm pretty sure I'll get more flack. I think there'll be a lot more people who probably disagree with me, probably like then agree with me, there might be a few that agree with me for particular reasons, you know what I mean? It's all going to be personal reasons why people probably agree with me. And there's probably be like a good percentage of people that probably just were like, well, it's just life, man. I don't think you're a bad person. I just think that life kind of cut you a freaking a certain deck of cards, you know, that you can't help, you know. But with that being said, we'll see you on the next video. You take care.